Hello, I'm Dania Ganesan and this is Kini News. In today's top story, Bersatu President Muhyiddin Yassin is hitting back after police questioning, once again denying claims that he insulted the former Yang di-Pertuan Agong.
In a statement released after his police interrogation this afternoon, Muhyiddin affirmed his loyalty to the institution of constitutional monarchy. He reiterated that his speech in Nenggiri, where he discussed not being invited to form the government in 2022, was entirely factual and not intended to insult Sultan Abdullah, Sultan Ahmad Shah. Muhyiddin claimed that his speech and the accompanying video had been manipulated by certain parties to falsely suggest that he insulted Sultan Abdullah. He expressed hope that the investigation into the allegations against him would be thorough, transparent, and fair as required by law.
Earlier, Muhyiddin furnished the police with 115 statutory declarations, including his own, from November 2022, backing him as Prime Minister then. The Pago MP also submitted a letter from Sultan Abdullah's private secretary affirming the receipt of the SDs.
This is part of the police investigation into accusations that Muhyiddin insulted the former Yang di-Pertuan Agong during a speech in the recent Nenggiri by-election. Muhyiddin, who declined to speak to the press after his police questioning, stated that his remarks were factual and not intended to offend Sultan Abdullah. The media were later given a copy of Muhyiddin's statutory declaration to the palace, dated November 21, 2022. In this document, Muhyiddin mentioned that he had attached 51 statutory declarations from Perikatan Nasional, 22 each from PAST and GPS, 6 from GRS, 1 from Parti Kesejahteraan Democratic Malaysia, as well as declarations from 10 BN MPs and 2 independent MPs. The attachments mentioned in Muhyiddin's SD, however, were not provided to the media. The SDs were collected in the immediate aftermath of GE15, which ended with a hung parliament. GPS and GRS had initially supported Muhyiddin, but later switched their support to Anwar when Sultan Abdullah advised MPs to form a unity government.
Meanwhile, former Sepang MP Muhammad Hanifah Maidin has voiced his objections to the investigation of Muhyiddin under the Sedition Act. Although Hanifah disagrees with Muhyiddin Yassin's remarks, he argues, referencing the Quran, that employing harsh legal measures against him is unjust.
Muhammad Hanifah Maidin, citing the Quran, expressed his disagreement with the investigation of the Perikatan Nasional chairperson under the Sedition Act. While he disagrees with Muhyiddin Yassin's remarks, the former Sepang MP thinks using harsh laws against him is unfair. Hanifah, a former deputy minister in the PH administration, also mentioned his experience defending leaders like Abdul Khalid Samad, who faced charges under the Sedition Act. Hanifah also recalled that when he was an MP representing Amanah, Pakatan Harapan had opposed the Sedition Act. Muhyiddin caused a stir among the Pahang royal household during a recent Nenggiri by-election speech in which he claimed he had enough support to form the government. In response, Pahang Crown Prince Tengku Hassanal Ibrahim Alam Shah criticized Muhyiddin for distorting facts to imply that Sultan Abdullah, Sultan Ahmad Shah, was biased in appointing the prime minister after the 15th general election.
If you'd like access to news like this and more, subscribe now to Malaysia Kini from as low as RM12.50 a month to support independent media. Moving on to the next story. In a dramatic comparison, UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi has likened Perikatan Nasional chairperson Muhyiddin Yassin to a jilted spouse unable to move on.
Mungkin orang itu tidak menerima hakikat bahawa titah untuk wujudkan kerajaan perpaduan itu adalah dengan niat tuanku ketika itu bagi menyatu padukan semua parti-parti gabungan agar tidak lagi berlaku ketidakstabilan di dalam politik tanah air. Tetapi orang itu mungkin melihat dari aspek kegila-talaan kerana tidak mendapat jawatan itu semula. Mungkin ianya telah pacul dari mulutnya ketika Nenggiri dijadikan tapak untuk, pada hemat saya, sangat tidak bertata susila kepada Duli Yang Maha Mulia Pangku Agoh ke-16.
In a fiery response, Fahmi Fadzil has slammed Bersatu Youth for their attempt to shift the blame on PKR's mouthpiece, Suara Keadilan, over Muhyiddin's speech that riled up the Pahang royalty. According to Fahmi, this move is nothing more than a desperate diversion from the core issue at hand.
Ya, bila dia dah panik dengan kenyataan yang telah dibuat, maka dia cari dan dia cuba salahkan mana-mana pihak. Yang jelas, saya sendiri menyaksikan ucapan mantan Perdana Menteri dalam TikTok Live. Kalau tak silap saya, yang menyiarkan TikTok Live itu adalah saluran Parti PAS. Saya tak ingat sama ada Harakah Daily ataupun beberapa akaun milik Parti PAS. Sama ada PAS Gua Musang ataupun sebagainya. Jadi kalau nak salahkan mana-mana pihak, salahkan organ-organ PAS yang telah menyiar ucapan tersebut secara TikTok Live.
Adding further, the PKR information chief sarcastically mocked the Bersatu leaders, comparing their predicament to the Malay proverb, Sudah jatuh ditimpa tangga, referring to their loss in the Nenggiri by-election and the subsequent police investigation. Yesterday, Bersatu Youth filed a police report against Suara Keadilan, accusing the portal of maliciously uploading Muhyiddin's remarks.
Dr. Mahathir Mohamad's office has swiftly rebutted UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi's bold claim that the former premier sought to ban the party he once led for over 20 years.
In a statement today, it was emphasized that Dr. Mahathir Mohamad could have instructed the Home Minister to dissolve UMNO during his tenure if that had been his intention. The statement also highlighted that UMNO remained active throughout Dr. Mahathir's second term from 2018 to 2020. It was reported that Dr. Mahathir had urged Zahid to dissolve UMNO due to the party's election loss, corruption issues, and its abandonment of its religious struggle. Yesterday, UMNO leader Nur Jazlan Mohammed praised Zahid for his stand against Dr. Mahathir, calling him a rejected hero.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Dania Ganesan. Thanks for watching.